Hello, hello. These are not my normal shades of doom. I lost them, so that's very unfortunate, but whatever. I had to get back in the groove of things. Hello, Petit Penguin. Hi, May Brussels Project. Hi, Meatball. Hi, Don Lambert. Hi, Mr. Crow. Hi, Jay Snyder. And let me see who else. Hi, Morgana. Hi, Lazarus. And I want to make sure I'm not missing anybody. I don't think I am. And hi, Ivermectin. And I think I'm all caught up, hopefully. If I missed you, I'm sorry. All right, so we are going to go ahead and we're going to go on a little bit of a journey today. So I titled this Snow White as Subterfuge. Hi, Hypatia. Hello. Sorry, it threw me off. Buckle up, LFG. I'm trying not to swear, because I really hate swearing. I try to be a lady, but like that whole like LFG, like let's fucking go. Like that's how I feel inside. And hello, Stacy, first live. Well, welcome. Thank you so much for catching the live. I'm glad you're here. And hi, Soil Lodge. If I didn't say hello, I'm sorry. Obviously, we've got a lot to go through, but Snow White as Subterfuge. I'm not saying that like we have a smoking gun here or anything. I've got a lot to show you guys. It's going to be a long one, so buckle up. And if you can't stay, that's okay. That's completely fine. But we have a lot to go through because I am going to lay out what I think is a fair consideration for people that Operation Snow White was subterfuge. And, I've been spending a lot of time with Virginia talking about this. There is a damn good argument, and it is a good argument, that the Son of Sam letters, just the letters, that's all I'm talking about, literally is just the letters, guys, that the Son of Sam letters were a black PR campaign. Now, whether that black PR campaign was from the Church of Scientology or from the process or from both, there's a lot of really weird stuff going on because we're going to lay this out. We're going to talk about it. But we also have not only Operation Snow White, but with Operation Snow White, the Guardian's office is getting shut down. The church's CIA is getting shut down. There's a lot of things going on. And I don't think that the timelines can be ignored. I think it's really important because, we've talked about Paulette Cooper and how they were literally able to manufacture fingerprints. And I've got some really interesting Guardian's Office documents to show you guys about Paulette Cooper, straight up. Because if this is what it is, and who knows if we'll be able to prove it, but I think it's absolutely worth considering, then damn. Subterfuge of the utmost success. So we are going to run the intro and then we will begin.
Let me teach you how to whip the grain. Inside peanut butter, outside with the candy frame. Serving corners in this jet. I'm on a quest to touch 100 mil before I lay myself to rest. Hand on the Glock, I turn the beam on. A savage on the fucking run, the Unabomber, wreaking heaven, singing sad songs. Red rum, murder engraved inside of my mind. Pull up to your funeral and kill everybody inside. Lock the loaded, bust a hammer, hit the nail and crucify. Tie your body up in the dungeon to make your soul mine. Death note, got a page with your name on it. Bullets flying to your head like a fucking comet.
These shades of doom ain't cutting it for me, guys. I'm sorry, but we are out here fighting demons, y'all. Hi, Eric G. So glad that you're here. And hi, Annie Kurtz. Happy Friday back to you. Hi, P. Thomas. And let me see who else. Hello, Blow Drill. Yeah, I mean, I've looked into Ingo Swan. I don't really care about Ingo Swan right now. I don't mean any offense to that whatsoever. That's just a different arm of it that's going to come down the line. It's pretty irrelevant to what, I'm working on right now. So, eventually, yes, I will talk about it because I think suspicious death of Heber Jensh's first wife, Yvonne. I have a thread on Twitter about her. I think that there's some very well established ties between Ingo Swan, Hal Puthoff, and Yvonne Jensch. And I don't know, did something bad happen to her? And maybe they know something. Who knows? I have no idea. Let me see. I won't if Aaron is watching, or is he drunk? Stop it, ivermectin. I'm not even going to read that. PR is another term for propaganda. Yes, thank you, P. Thomas. Soil Lodge. Wonder if the zodiac letters are black PR. Well, that's a very good point, my friend. Very smart, astute observation. And hello, Trudy Zeke and Mr. Crow. Well, thank you. Yes, I do make these on my phone. That just shows how much of a life I don't have. JT, hello. I don't know who you are, but I'm glad that you're here. And let me see who else. Dave Steege, hello. And I have no idea who Trudy Zeke is. I don't know. And is this Seashore Mary? Okay, hello, Seashore. Sorry, I didn't know if it said seahorse or seashore. What is that thing selling shells down by the seashore? I don't know why that just came to my mind. Okay, sorry. I've got to get back on track. You guys make me laugh. Sorry. So I need to pull something up because obviously I had to restart my computer at the last second because it crapped out on me. Because I am literally out here fighting demons. So I am going to pull up. I guess I'm just going to pull up both. Give me a second. And if I get laggy, guys, you got to let me know. But I wasn't going to completely delay this entire thing because of my computer wanting to give me a fit. It is what it is. Now, if you are on my Twitter, then you are well aware I have dropped in the archive that I have begun transcribing these very whatever mysterious, spoopy Son of Sam files that people seem to be quite worked up about. If there's nothing to hide and if there's nothing in there and they're, worthless, then hey, I'm wasting my own time, right? But I feel like they're part of the public record and should be treated as such. Hi, Curb Creeper. You caught your first live. Hell yeah. I'm glad that you're here. Thank you so much. Let me make sure I didn't miss anybody else. This is great. I'm so glad that you guys are here. Yeah, I had to reboot. I'm like, all right, well, the honey pot was back in my DMs. So it's just been a weird day. However, we're not going to read this entire thing. I would kind of prefer to read it from my transcription in the Word document only because it's clearer. Now, I'm not going to name the person that told me this. It is an anonymous source that I have a very good relationship with on Twitter, but I had sent them the archive of the transcription of this specific interview. And when they got back to me, they said, wow, that adds 3 literal pages to what was transcribed from the audio files from this interview. Whatever happened with these audio files, I'm not familiar. So I don't know if these are missing. I have not listened to this interview, but there is a part near the end that stuck out to me like a sore thumb. There's 2 parts, but the one part is the thing that took it all the way. And I don't know who Lewis is. Hi, Hill Doggy Dog. All right, let me make sure I've got all of you. All right, so I'm just going to show you guys this so that way you guys can see, and then we're going to look at mine. I just found out what the Process Church is about 20 minutes ago in a super general sense. I've been subbed a couple weeks, but need to learn a lot of stuff. Good to listen. Hi, Henry Viper. Well, thank you so much, and thank you for being open-minded. I'm glad that you're here. I can tell you this right now as someone who feels pretty well-versed in the process. it's always a learning curve because these people are literally just changing and morphing all the time. So take your time. It's not a rush. And I'm certainly not trying to give anybody a hard time about anything, even though I might get a little petty later because from what I was told, uh, any of these files that are brought up, it's going to be reviewed, and that's completely fine. Now, let me find the page on this original file so I can show you guys. 1 second, bear with me. Dang it. I know it's here near the end because this is when Sam asks them to step out. Where is it? Bear with me for a moment, y'all, because if not, I'm just going to pull up the Word doc. Let me see. All right. Yeah, this is where the lawyer kicks in. Okay, perfect. All right, I've got it. And I'll show you guys. It's pretty blurry though. So this is the interview between Sam Card, Wheat Card, Francis Carr, and the DA, right? So this is in the Maury Terry files, Terry Maury, whatever. I went through, transcribed them myself, and then I uploaded it with the original. There is something very bizarre near the end of this interview, and Virginia agrees, Lauren agrees, and Mike agrees. And you guys need to understand that this is not speculation of just random former Scientologists. This is speculation of whistleblowers, some who were involved in intelligence. So they have helped me to see, because I don't understand Scientology whatsoever. But when I saw this, I said, wow, this is the first time in the entire interview that Sam has put his foot down. It was kind of jarring, but then it really brought things into perspective. Now, if I get laggy, please tell me. This is literally like what the scan looks like, you know? It's okay. It is what it is. I understand people were probably working very quickly, but they're talking about Michael Carr's time in the church. Okay? I would prefer to read this through the Word document, but at least you guys can see what it looks like. So they're asking when he was on staff, did he go? Was it a regular 9 to 5 job? Did he go in there every day and return every day? And FC is for Francis Carr, obviously. When did he leave? But did he leave the staff in the time when he started working here with the answering service? You know, they're going back and forth and they're trying to clarify this. They're trying to clarify Michael Carr's time in the church. This is the second time that they bring this up in this interview. This is 24 pages, which I understand is not, like super long. However, right here, see this? Right here. Why are you asking this? I've already answered you. As an active member, did he go there on a regular basis? He was active with the Church of Scientology until the moment of his death. He is very proud of being a part of it. Why are you asking this? And right here, we'll just read it from here. It's fine. So, Francis Carr. Yes, he did. It's not a 9 to 5 job. They are open at 10 o'clock in the morning until 10 o'clock at night. Nobody works those long hours. He worked whatever his schedule was or when he went for auditing. And right here, SC, Samuel Carr. Could you give us a couple of minutes to ourselves? This is the only time that Samuel Carr interjects or puts his foot down in this interview. I've uploaded it into the archive along with the transcription. I highly encourage people to go and read it. It is posted on my Twitter and I will be updating it regularly. People need to see these things for themselves. Because, Sam makes a pretty crazy claim, and I'm just going to pull it up in the Word document so that I can search it. He says something completely different about the bullet in Harvey, which I think is kind of weird considering what the newspapers say, but let me find it really quick. We'll do the little word search. There we go. Because throughout most of this interview, it's Francis that's running the show. And if you've read this interview, you know exactly what I'm talking about because she is. She's very assertive. She's giving Wheat and Sam quite a hard time about their answers. Says that they're saying too much. Acts like they're saying too much. Why are you saying so much? That's not what they asked you. Blah, 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 blah. But right when Francis starts going a little back and forth, getting a little nervous, it seems, Sam puts his foot down. That's weird. That's weird. Because Michael was staff, not regular staff. I've already shown that. We've already gone through that, guys. And we'll go through it again at another time, but I don't feel like I need to continue to show the same thing every single stream. It gets kind of old, and I know that it gets old for some of you. But let's go ahead and let's see what he has to say specifically about the dog. So obviously I just typed in bullet. That was the easiest, right? So let me see if I can zoom in and it's not going to screw it up. Okay, so right here, they're trying to figure out which hospital the dog was at, what was the name of the doctor, the chief at the New York Animal Medical Center, Francis, I don't recall his name, but Wheat might. Okay, so, and the bullet is still in Harvey. Sam Carr, that is correct. Very close to the heart. That's the reason we will not have it removed. Because it could mean it could kill him. Look at how assertive Francis is. He just asked you whether it was still there, Sam. All he asked you whether it was still there. Sam. Well, I'm giving him a reason why the bullet. Francis cuts him off. Well, it's still there, okay? It's still there. And that's it. They drop it after that. Isn't it in the newspapers that that bullet was in the leg? That it was going to paralyze the dog? Right? That's what I thought. That's what I thought. And no worries, Echo Cat. I'm so glad that you're here. I don't know if I missed people. Let me see. Hi, Melanie Ladbrook. I'm so glad that you're here. And probably summon the gardener's face aghast. I haven't listened to the audio, and someone told me, like I said, my anonymous person told me that the audio cuts off and you don't have the rest of that on that website. I have not listened. I cannot confirm. This is what I was told by someone else. So I don't know. Was the bullet near his heart or was it in the leg? Because wasn't it in a newspaper that it could permanently paralyze the dog? But then Sam is saying that the bullet's near the dog's heart? I don't know. Who knows? I don't know what I'm talking about, right? We're just sitting here reading through like stupid newspapers and whatnot, right? Now, I have got a surprise for you guys because thanks to Virginia, we have two. I don't know if they're never before seen, but I'm pretty sure that they're never before seen. We have two very old Processian magazines. I may get a little bit laggy, and I apologize, but you are going to see some fascinating things in here because now we know for a fact that quite a few founding members were in New York. And I also have proof out of their own mouth that they were literally running back and forth from the Boston location to New York as well. Yeah? Okay. So this whole cult theory is getting a little bit tighter as we move along. But I want you guys to see this whole magazine. No, we're not going to read all of it, but it is so freaking cool. I was so excited. And again, this is all thanks to Virginia. She was the one that got this, and it is so exciting. So the Processians, December 1973 issue. And like I said, let me know if I get super laggy. So the Hall of Shame. Isn't that lovely? And look, Mother Mercedes. This is the woman that quite a few people have eyed as involved in one of these shootings. I don't know which one it is because, again, I am not incredibly familiar with the shootings themselves. whatsoever. But I have had people send me some of these sketches of some of these suspects and put them next to other photos I have of her. And I am going to be pulling up those PowerPoints. That way you guys can see. But holy cow, that is a completely different angle. And I would imagine that, like, she went through puberty. We listened to the audio of her. That's her with Father Lucius Nestor that she joined when she was like 15 or 16. That's her. So that's real crazy. Now, lovely topics: rape at the movies, the fun and fundamentalism, the lunchback of Notre Dame. And I don't know what the Greer-o-gasm is. I have no idea. The unity of Christ and Satan is good news for you. If that conflict can be resolved, then yours can be too. And right here, so here we have December 1973. You know what's super duper fun? Phineas, that's Robert de Grimston's brother. Love that. Got that. And you know, the list of like the 22 disciples of hell or whatever, I've found these people, guys. I've found a lot of them. So I'm going to show you guys an updated slide identifying Lars, Ken. I'm going to show you guys, okay? Because we know who they are. But let's continue. I thought that this was really, really interesting. So a process report. Set them up, Joe. I know that Soil Lodge kind of got what I was, picking up and putting down. In the gutter, dead to the world. I don't know. I'm not telling anybody what to think, man, but propaganda, the game is strong, right? So here we go. They're talking about Skid Row, and look, the process designed Christmas cards. They give us messages and added significance. Yeah, I bet that they do. And there she is, Mother Mercedes again, and talking about the lonely world of the alcoholic junkie. The ecology juice head is the new trend. I'm not going to say all of this crap, but obviously, they're helping people. They're helping everybody, right? They're not doing anything wrong. And there we have the man of the hour himself, Robert de Grimston, founder and teacher of the process. What is he talking about? The Hall of Shame. Okay. Anyways, this is some of their art, blah, 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 blah. I literally don't care about Robert de Grimston's writings. I literally don't. I think that they're trash. I know he says that they were, what is it? Automatic writing, right? Yeah, okay. So here we have, I thought that this was very interesting because she's a new character for me to look into, Sister Desiree. So she is their star illustrator. And there is Timothy Wiley, Father Micah. And let me move over here. And we have Mr. Michael Mountain, Hugh Mountain, aka Father Aaron Tubal Kane. He just really tries so hard to look normal, and it stresses me out because he just looks like a freaking creep. All right, so let's keep going. I'm sorry, this made me laugh. So that is Father Malachi. The trouble with New York is that there's always someone at home ripping off your mother while you're out ripping off someone else. I'm not hating on New York whatsoever, but this just really made me laugh, especially like with his cheesy smile. It's like, whatever. And then here, who took the fun out of fundamentalism? I find this fascinating that this is what they're passing out, because I already showed you guys that Robert de Grimston was literally having a meeting with Reverend Arthur Gibson from the Vatican in New York at this time. So propaganda much? Yeah, I would say so. So we'll go ahead and zoom out. And here we go. More amazing pictures. We love it. So we've got Mother Maya of the Boston Process sitting there with a car. Honestly, guys, if I knew nothing about them, nothing about their theology, the outfits, I'm here for it. Totally here for it. So this is the first time that I have seen the Stars of David. I've been hunting them down for some time, so I was very excited This is one of their bands, and they were getting it on during a recent show at the Process chapter in New Orleans' deepest French Quarter. Special guest performer, Father Lucius Nestor, aka Christopher DePire, aka Raphael, High Master of the Process's southern headquarters, laid down the best for current showstopper tune, Love Your Enemies. Whatever. And I recognize a few other very interesting faces in there, but we'll come back to that at another time. And here, the Process Coffee House at the Chicago chapter recently been completely refurnished within. Some of the quote-unquote architects were Processians, brother Ken Zawaris, Debbie Hackenow, and brother Justin, all of the Chicago chapter. Look at them. They're having so much fun. Yeah. And let's pull this back. I'm not going to sit here and read them talking about rape. We have gone through their rape game, and I will pass. And then here's the back flyer. Healing meditation, free shop and kitchen, chant sessions, process forum, the coffee house. And this is something that we're going to be coming back to at some point because it's very weird that they are closed all day on Sunday. All day. All day. All day. So I think that they're doing something weird on Sundays. And I found a new gal. We don't know who she is, but this is Sister Adelpha. She's very striking looking, and I have a new member to hunt down. But it's very exciting. And obviously, we have the propaganda at the bottom of the magazine. Be kind to animals, help end vivisection. Be kind to animals, help end vivisection. Blah, 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 blah. So, I'm going to check the chat before I show you guys the even darker next magazine that Mike and Virginia, or that Virginia was able to find for me. You see pretty quickly reading this that wheat is highly manipulative. I think that they're all highly manipulative because, quite frankly, there's this whole part in there about Sam Carr explaining to the cops how, like, he was getting tailed and, like, they're certain that, like, it's Berkowitz or something. And from what I understand, the state laws at the time, the license plate had to be mounted on the front of the vehicle. But Sam literally cannot give any identification of this car that was constantly tailing him. Okay, whatever you say. Hey, Turkle Tom, I'm so glad that you're here. Hey, Bug Dude. Let me see. And Ivor assumes all boomers have cable TV. And I assume the Boston location was in Cambridge. Yes, Mo Green, that's the one. And let me see. My mother has... All right, you guys are talking about the television. More babies scaring faces. Hey, Forensics of Evil. Hello, hello. And... love me some propaganda. I mean, they're very good at it. You know what I mean? They're very good at it. And hello, David Rosenfeld. Hello, hello. Robert always looks like he is going to play King Lear. I mean, Robert, I read Robert de Grimston's diary. Remember? That was like old. Robert de Grimston is the original, like, goth simp, like simping for goth chicks. So lame. So corny. Let me see. The newspapers could have got it wrong about the Harvey the dog. Well, maybe, but I mean, so could the cars. Sorry. Everybody else, like, wants to demand all this forensic proof. They're not getting any slack from me here, guys. I don't care. Let me see. Tubal canes are the worst tubals. Look at those upside down crosses. I like that logo of As It Is. It looks spoopy. Yes, it is very spoopy. We got lots of spoopy vibes in here. I wonder if they knew the Fort Hill commune in Boston. Was the Vatican guy part of the Venetian Jesuit sect? So I do not know if he was, but I covered him a little bit, and eventually I'll just, like, throw up the slide with everything that I have from him, because I found that he was translating and transcribing documents right after World War I, and that was how he paid his way through school, through the State Department. Dude's a total spook, like, straight up. It's all the hallmarks of an intelligence asset. But I mean, he was the one that testified on the process's behalf in the Ed Sanders trial in the UK that they lost. Yeah, so that's why we have that. That NOLA photo tells me that they were there when the upstairs lounge fire happened. Well, I'm good. I'm glad other people like notice these things. Please, like, let me know. I'll come back and look at the chat. I stepped away. So is Catholicism bad? Stupid question. I'm not here to tell anybody what to think. Never ever. But what if Sunday was their day of rest? Back then, it was not like today where everything is open for business. Nope. I don't trust them. I don't trust these people because I'm going to show you why. I got to pull up the PowerPoint, but guess what? We found the thrift shop. And guess who's the only person registered to it? John Markham II. I have the corporate record because they lied about the name, but we've got them. So I don't believe these people at all. I don't think that these people take a day of rest, quite frankly. Let me see. Miss Dana, I hope that you are well. I am glad that you are here. There were rumors that Mary Ann was part of the Profumo affair. Yeah, I think that that is a very strong argument. It's just going to be much more time consuming to nail it down. But yeah, I absolutely do think that she was. And I think that the Black Widow art dealer provocateur was as well. So let's go ahead and look at the next process scenes. Yeah, because this is where it gets really, really dark. This is where, because then I'm going to show you guys what I found at this facility that they were working at. Yeah, let me know what you guys think. So here we go. This is the holiday issue, January 1974. A Merry Christmas and best wishes for 1974 to all of our leaders. There is Sister Pythie at DeWitt Nursing Home in New York. Mental retardation. Some residents haven't had a visitor in 25 years. What are you doing Saturday? Satan and Women's Lib. Aha. Male menopause. UFO. ESP Arament and the Greerograsm again. The unity of Christ and Satan is good news for you. If that conflict can be resolved, then yours can too. So here we have Brother Tobias, Brother Amos, Sister Adelpha on the Dime Staten Island ferry on their way to Willowbrook. And here we go. And here are a bunch of complete strangers hanging out with an extremely vulnerable group of people. Because when I show you guys what they were doing to these people, it's completely insane that these demons were allowed to be around them unsupervised. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. I'm not going to talk about the face, like this energy that she's giving off right here. Don't like it. But we're going to keep moving on. And this was the one that I couldn't resist waiting to post on Twitter. Remember, there are babes in the woods. Okay. Whatever you say. Brother Amos of the New York chapter of the Process Church, a veteran of the highly successful Process program at the Fernald State School for the Mentally Retarded at Boston, Brother Amos is in immediate charge of the church's program at Willowbrook. Check it out with him. Yeah? Giving off major wood chipper energy. Yeah? Wood chipper energy. Just my opinion, but we'll see. And here we with Sister Casimira. Yeah. They're all having a great time. Again, don't hate the outfits, you know. I mean, they knew how to dress. I got to give them credit. Oop. Did this just black out for you guys or is it just me? There we go. All right. And there are the gals, the Process gals, Sisters Bethel, Casimira, and Adelpha. And Adelpha was the gal with the snake around her neck. And here we go. So we still have Father Phineas or Brother Phineas in here, which means that Robert de Grimston and his brother are still here. Yeah? All right. And there is the man of the hour, Robert de Grimston again, the rescue, or all boats lead to home. Yeah? Not going to read all of his complete tomfoolery because that is what is. Blah, 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 blah. There's some lovely artwork. Great. Don't care. Don't care. Now, oh, look who it is. Remember the gentleman that we discussed? Mr. Robert Miller? The man whose photo was taken by Michael Vale Carr III and published in the Auditor magazine? And we had LaRouche, who identified the address of the thrift shop. Well, damn if that does not look like our guy. If it doesn't look like our guy, huh? Now, right here, apparently this is, I don't know what they're doing here with this puppet. I really don't want to know. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I really can't deal with it. But we're going to come back to the thrift shop because I'm going to show you guys that it is active today, still registered to Markham. Yeah. So we give LaRouche credit where it is due. And here are some lovely photos. Mr. Meredith dispensing presents. And we have the Boston Process chapter group. This is the Rock of Ages where they're doing Jesus Rock, right? So they played at the Metropolitan State Hospital for the criminally insane. One of the residents baked this huge angel, or was it devil, food cake to mark the occasion. Yeah, because these people need to be around children. And oh, here's that same guy, Brother Amos, standing in front of that picture about there's babes in the woods, giving off major wood chipper vibes. So here he is right there at DeWitt Nursing Home. And if we take a quick peek, that photo was taken by a Joe Mineta. Joe Mineta is a pretty big name in Hollywood, photography-wise. We're not going to really be talking about him too much today, but just dropping that out there. And apparently this is Father Malachi's little section of every magazine, the as it is, whatever. Kind of interesting. They talk about the Mormons over here. And blah, 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 blah. We're moving on, and here we are. The process. All process activities are given on a purely donation basis. Sunday closed all day. Here they're adding in the process scene. Spontaneous. Check chapters for details. Yeah. And look at that. If any of Leah Ramini's friends are watching, and by friends, I mean the honeypot that continues to not get the hint when I leave him on red in the DMs, can you ask your girl? Because this is the process, and Best Friends Animal Society is the process, but here's some very early Best Friends propaganda. All matter is sacred, and that it stems from God. Process precept. And again, be kind to animals, help end vivisection. Be kind to animals, help end vivisection. Da, 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 da. Yeah? So that's that. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. I was so tickled when I was able to see those. You have no idea. It really did something for me. I absolutely just lost my mind. Let me see. John Markham was Leslie Van Houten's attorney for a quick minute. Shut up, May Brussels Project. Are you serious? God. It was Leslie Van Houten that Ira Reiner got involved too, right? Ira Reiner from McMartin? I'm going to have to come back to that. Excuse my language. I'm trying not to swear. Yeah, Markham was involved in a lot of things. Let me see. I still don't understand when Christ and Satan united. That just sounds so off-putting. Well, it is very off-putting. I have a very long series if you literally have nothing else better to do. And for some of my peeps here, they wrote it out with me from day one. But we went through the court records where they detail their theology. It's a bunch of relativism. They just literally want to be able to cloak themselves through every single sort of movement because after what happens at Cielo Drive, because Charles Manson was a Processian, we've provided plenty of evidence for that, despite what Anton LaVey's former son-in-law says. they, run out of California and they join the Jesus freak movement and literally every other movement, including the Mennonites. Because I guess when you have four deities and you don't really stick with anything, because technically you don't really believe in any of them, you just want to destroy humanity, then you can join any sort of movement. Hi, Anna the inbred Nazi. And oh, well, thank you. I appreciate that very much. Sure shot, Sav. Willowbrook's physical layout and the way the buildings are numbered has so many similarities to World War II prison camps. Oh, well, that's a great point. Thank you so much. All hands on deck. They look like photos you used to see in hairdressers in the 70s. I don't disagree. He gives off H.H. Holmes victim vibes. Yeah, wood chipper ain't good enough. Yeah, but I mean, absolutely wood chipper energy. Let me see. And I believe I was the one who found the EIR article about the process. I sent it to many people, including William Ramsey. I found a new one today. I found a new one, which I mean, whatever, like we've exonerated LaRouche as far as that goes, in my opinion, because I found the corporate record. So he wasn't wrong. He left out some important information, which is unfortunate. Am I going to rake the guy over the coals? Absolutely not. It's really easy to give people a hard time in hindsight. You know what I'm saying? And I'm grateful that we're finding information now. That's really all that matters to me. Let me get my slides pulled up, and that way we can rock and roll here. If I get laggy again, whoop, did I do that? Tell me if I get laggy, guys. You got to let me know because my computer's been acting real screwy. A lot of tomfuckery, quite frankly. Let me see. Is Def Leppard involved? Well, God, I hope not. Because who was it? Blue Oyster Cult. They were involved, which made me very upset. I'm at work, missing too much. Well, that's okay, Curb Creeper. Come back and watch the replay. And if one is missing an arm, it's case closed. Let me see. I just don't want to miss anybody. Sorry, guys. And the same guy who taught Manson Scientology in prison. Yeah, he's involved in the Squeaky Fromm thing. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely involved in Squeaky Fromm. Why? Oh, no, I wasn't telling Mae Brussel Project to shut up. Seriously. No, that's just like my reaction. Like, are you kidding me? No, I'm not telling anybody to shut up. I don't censor anybody. As long as you guys aren't being nasty to each other, that's fine. But I will never tell somebody to shut up ever. If I'm saying shut up, it's because I'm just like, my brain is like, why? Like, I'm ontologically having an issue at the moment. You know what I mean? And hello, Fire Pixie. No worries. That's completely fine. And I just want to make sure I'm not missing anybody. Sorry, guys. I may have to just ignore the chat. I'm sorry, because we got to get through some of this stuff. So let me pull up, because we're going to save the Guardian's office stuff for last. I want to show you guys, just so I'm not a dirty liar. Okay, we're not going to go through everything, but the list of, certain disciples, whatever, especially this Kenneth McNaughton, we need to look at this because I have proven who these people are. I have. I know who he is. Doesn't mean I have a ton of information on him. However, it doesn't make it moot. So let's go ahead and pull up old Ken McNaughton, aka Father Dominic. Okay, so this is him. This is him. This is proven through the court records of the case that they lost in the UK. Kenneth McNaughton is Father Dominic. Period. That's who he is. Obviously, aged. Now, I will be honest, right here, I'm not fully sold on this photo. I think it looks like him, but I'm just not totally sold. But between these two photos right here, him in the bottom left and up there, yes, they have similar features. I don't think that it's Brother Amos, but that is him. Period. And that's important because there's a lot of people that say that he is very credibly implicated in one of these Son of Sam crimes at a bare minimum. So he's not Ken from The Process or Ken from Australia. He's Kenneth McNaughton. He is a founding member of the Process Church of the Final Judgment. Period. Now, I think the next slide is Robert de Grimston's brother. I have had a tough time finding him, but well, no, we got some, whatever. It's William Sims Bainbridge. Who can resist Ebenezer Scrooge? The cybernetics guy that works for the US government today, who wants all of us to live in a World of Warcraft simulation, right? This guy is a total nightmare, but there he is. There he is, Andrew C. Moore, Father Phineas. This picture right here, got that from the Ultimate Evil Files. Do you know how exciting that was for me to confirm that he was in the States? That's a big deal for me. So I'm grateful for the files. But that's just me. Now, let me stop sharing this because some of these files are still a huge mess. And then we will pull up. I don't know what all the names were on that list because I don't have it on me because, quite frankly, I don't really care. Let's look at old Flavia, though, right? Sister Mercedes, Sister Flavia, because that is who she is. This is per the court records. So, you guys saw this in the magazine. Right here, Mother Mercedes. But look at the difference of the angle, guys. Oh, God, I'm going to end up sliding over to the next one. Look at that. Okay, right? Like, hey, she's given off a vibe. I'm into it. To this very unfortunate, like, yo, old girl straight up, like, went through puberty. On God. On God. An angle does everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, for those of you from the MySpace days, like, tell me that that is not a prime example of those angles seriously doing something, because that's nuts. When I saw that, I was like, all right, you little hoe. I still think that you're a straight up demon, but that's crazy because she's the youngest. But this literally right here, Sister Mercedes Leah, that's who she is. Mother Mercedes, Flavia, because there was a period of time for 2 years, for those who know the process well, where they were allowed to change their names, and some of them had 3 names. Okay? It's a hellscape. These people are a hellscape, and I'm not denying it. However, she obviously hit puberty. Good for her. That's great. Now, let me move on to another member that I mean, they're all relevant, quite frankly. But I want to show you guys them kind of talking about, well, I don't think I showed you guys my finalized Michael Hugh Mountain because he is identified in those files, and I finished his little slide the best that I could, and I put it onto Twitter, that way people can see, and I put like all the pictures that I could find because I think that it's really important. People need to see this, that no, the process doesn't not exist anymore. They are active. And if you understand their theology, and if you read William Sims Bainbridge, the transmutation of the process, the transmutation of this religious movement, this is the natural conclusion, the natural progression. These things matter in context, especially if these people are implicated in crimes that were going on during the time of the Son of Sam, because not all of these people are dead. Period. And I know that some people think it's stupid and they don't care, but I do. So, this is Father Aaron Tubal Cain, Michael Hugh Mountain. Rumors that he was a Bernstein and that he was an heir to Granada TV. These are only rumors that I have not been able to confirm, so I have not included it. However, he is a member of the League of Human Voters. He sits on the board of advisors. He is the founder of the Whale Sanctuary Project. He is the founder of Earth in Transition. If you would like a peek into what these people think, go to Earth in Transition. It literally talks about the destruction of humanity in order to bring everything back to normal, just like the process, right? And also, he is the founder of Zoe. So, lots of animal activism, all of that stuff, which is fine. I don't hate animals. I love my dogs. I have a pit bull. He is also one of the individuals who visited Charles Manson in prison. So I think that he is incredibly disgusting and I have no respect for him. I think that he is a complete piece of trash. Now let me peek at the chat really quick. Who else did we have pop in? Hi, Kat. Let me see. Oh, he actually said it was a ritual at first, saying, well, I don't know what all that says. Squeaky lives in upstate New York. I listened to a recent interview and she seemed quite sane. I don't doubt that she is sane, you know? I think I saw an interview on TV where they were interviewing her. And she seemed pretty normal. She seemed kind of, you know, like, okay, that happened. That was wild. Whatever. Who knows? Again, I'm not here to like adjudicate anybody in the court of public opinion or in a court of law, but the idea that like these processians haven't been identified and these are just random people that don't exist and there's like this mysterious list of the 22 disciples of hell, that is a gross misrepresentation of the truth. Sorry. Let me see. Kenny from the block. Oh, well, May Brussels Project, I'm grateful for you and I'm glad that you're here. Wig flipped again. Whose wig? Did I flip around? I hate when it does that. I hope that it didn't. I wonder if these Brits knew John Phillips of the Mamas and Papas. Forensics of Evil. I have an immigration services report that says that John Phillips was funding them for 2 years, 67 and 68. That's what immigration services has filed. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I believe it, and I don't see why people, you know, I'm not telling anybody what to think, but whatever. Okay, let me see. Someone was talking about Karen. Where did it go? Was it ivermectin? Hold my cans while I on you, Jeffrey. Stop it. Stop it. No, that demons. John Lennon was shot with a Charter Arms 38. That's interesting. I knew someone in those files. Files said they took their life in the 80s, but I knew them in the late 90s, early 2000s. That's interesting, Lazarus. LBJ had dark connections in Johnson City, Texas. Let me see. The Joker used a Charter Arms in the movie as a wink to all his gun nuts. Bainbridge's novel is worth the $20, even if people are only half curious. Putting it all in modern context absolutely makes it all more real and less like a sepia old-timey thing. Yeah, Bainbridge is a like hellscape. He really is. He's a lot. I can't deal with him. Like, he wants us to live in a World of Warcraft simulation. Oh, guess what other cult he infiltrated as an experiment? Children of God. Okay, that's the hill you want to die on. Oh, yeah, and Scientology. I want to find his information about his time in Scientology because he was a Scientologist before he joined the process. And let me see. There was someone that said they have a big question. Hi, Dana. Big question. Have you found any links with the process and Tavistock Foundation? Well, tenuous. I have quite a few videos on Tavistock. It's very tenuous, but you know, Tavistock is considered like social engineering. William Sims Bainbridge points out once they introduce group therapy that it explodes, right? And he calls it religious engineering. So social engineering, religious engineering, group therapy, because that's what Tavistock did. So, you know, it's all pretty convenient timing, especially the somewhat brief lineage that I did on Robert de Grimston's family specifically, because I've proven he is Black nobility, but his family was involved in some very shady wartime activities, so who knows? And Timothy Wiley's father took his life, and he was diagnosed with war neurosis, shell shock, which is a Tavistock diagnosis that was created by Tavistock. And I confirmed that Timothy Wiley's mother was intelligence. She worked for the Department of Economic Warfare. And that was how they met his parents. But he took his life. He had shell shock, you know. So, yes, Tavistock is involved in very loose ways. So, for anybody that's wondering who Father Lars is from that list, I'm going to show you because he's working at Best Friends Animal Society right now. Here we go. Father Lars, aka Harry Hirano, aka Stephen Hirano, advocate for Satan. He is involved in Halo, the no-kill rescue. And here he is in Toronto. This is one of the most famous pictures of the process, or most well-known, I should say. And here he is just having a good time with horses. What is that, a cat? They're having a great time, right? That's them. These are the founders. These are the founders, guys. This is Lars. And that's him. Look at him. I love finding these like really old photos. Look at that. I think he looks really promising as the advocate for Lucifer. I don't know if it's just him looking away, and I mean, it's interesting because he's part of the Printers Club, right? Typography and cartoons. So I thought that it was appropriate that he is drawing cartoons for Best Friends Animal Society in Utah. Little doggy doctor fixing the cat paw. Sorry, it's just the little things that help keep me sane. Now, let me make sure I'm out of that completely. Ooh, I don't want to wing it to the next slide, so give me a second. Hold on, because some of them are a mess. Yeah, let's just run through it. Let's show you. Let's show you that these are real people, that these are identifiable people, because this is very, very important. And Morgana, I am going to be doing like just a deep dive on what they are doing in Canada, because the way that it's painted about their time in Canada, the narrative about the time of their movement, it's all a lie. I've got most of it nailed down. Obviously, these Processian magazines are giving us so much more. We're finding new faces, we're finding new names, and that's super important because we're adding like to the record. You know what I'm saying? But there's a lot of bad stuff going on in Canada. I think it was in Canada where they had hung the dog from someone's front door, like the door frame, you know? So I don't know. Maybe it's unrelated, maybe not. Who knows? But let's continue. So here we have Father Maximilian. Gosh, what is it? Maximilian something else. I can't remember off the top of my head. But, anyways, that is the one picture that I could find of him besides the magazine. That big compilation magazine. That's it. But guess what? He goes to Utah too. Yeah? Onward. So here we have, let's zoom it in right here. The Healing Sisters, yeah. So on the left, we have Mother Ann, and these are the broads that eventually are running around talking about necromancy. Yeah? But this is them. This is them. This is the same people. This is the Process Church of the Final Judgment. I have proven this. Other people want to ignore it? Fine. Don't care. All right. So we have Sister Sharon St. Joan. She has so many names. But she was one of the Healing Sisters. Mother Joan, Gretchen Lawrence of Aiken, blah, 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 blah. We're not going to sit here and go through all of this, okay? Because we've already done it. And here are some of the more well-known faces, this couple specifically. Mr. Batista was heavily involved in the dog rescue in Haiti. They were there the same time as the Clintons. I have a fascinating video, an old commercial that they had used as promo for that, so we will be coming back to that at another time. He went by Father Nathan, and ooh, is it Father Matthew? I think that it is. Yep, Father Matthew. Yep. And there is Silva Batista. And moving on. Come on. Go back. Hold on. I think this thing is frozen. There we go. And this is Blair Lawrence, Hava Lawrence. This is the one that I showed you guys was involved in, what is it? That stupid thing that I found. Dang it, I can't. Oh, transactional analysis. That's right, transactional analysis in New York, right? That was what prompted me kind of to look in Phoenix House, besides Wheat Carr denying the involvement of Phoenix House. Yeah? Because she was doing that by herself. And how was I able to find that in this random old stupid newspaper? Because I've identified all of these people factually. Here we have Janet Dupire. She ended up, actually, she was married to Christopher Dupire, I think. Yeah, because he was old. He was like Crypt Keeper old. And here we have Charity Rennie, aka Isabel Rennie, aka Mother Rhea Ophelia Charity Benedicte. And here is her obituary that is only listed on the best friend's website. There is no official death record, there is no official nothing. And that is a trend that you will continue to see with these people. There is no obituary, there is no announcement of their death, no announcement of a funeral. It is solely listed on the best friend's website. Now, this is Claire Ives, Magdalene Eaton. She is a founder, but she is very hard to find. She is also dead, unfortunately. So that makes things very complicated. Very complicated. And this is the one that Leah Ramini blocked me over. So this is Cyrus Mejia, aka Father Cyrus. And he's just having a good old jolly time. We've already gone through this. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, keep going. Keep going. There we go. All right. This is Mother Hathor / Lilith Minerva, aka Geraldine Brown, aka Geraldine Maloney, aka Faith Maloney. And she literally founding member in Stuhl. Okay. There she is again. One of the most famous pictures of the process with Father Lars right there. Yeah, that's her. She's dead too. Okay. And these are all of the people right now that I have not been able to identify. Unfortunately. Still looking for the hunk over here from Boston. What is his name? Brother Nicholas? Hold on. Still looking for that good looking guy. Look at that hair, man. Nice bone structure, too. Want to know who he is. Obviously, he's a demon, so, like, I'm not going after him. You know what I mean? And he's probably, like, very geriatric by now. But I'm just saying. These people are real. These people exist. It's not irrelevant. These people were literally everywhere, but they were absolutely in New York at that time. Period. It is what it is. And this, like I said, I'm going to try not to be petty. I'm really going to try. I make no promises though. Because I'm human, you know, and other people just feel really good about like being super disrespectful. And, you know, it's like, I get it. People say, like, well, you shouldn't feel motivated to do X, Y, and Z. I have nothing to hide. I would rather nip it in the bud. That's it. That's how I roll. And if you have known me for any amount of time or communicated with me for any amount of time, you'll know that. I would rather just air it all out. You know what I mean? We just get out in front of it. That's fine. I'm not losing sleep over it because I have nothing to hide. Now, I'm going to show you guys. I think the hospital. Nope, this is the hospital. All right. So you guys saw the magazine, right? Where they're in Willowbrook doing God knows what. This is going to be a little rough for those of you that are not familiar with what was going on at Willowbrook specifically. Okay, so sorry. It's ugly. It's ugly. What these people were doing was really ugly and it was really disgusting. And it's a shame. So I have included right here 2 obituaries. Unfortunately, this young child literally was 13 years old who died at Willowbrook. And then we have a 19-year-old who died at Willowbrook as well. And over here, so this is in regards to around the time that Geraldo came and did the series there. I don't trust Geraldo. I think that he is super sus. I think that anywhere he goes, there's problems that follow, if you catch my drift. And I looked into this doctor. I didn't find any sort of nefarious ties to this doctor as of yet. That could obviously change. But it did seem that he did bring up the problems. You know what I mean? He was the one that kind of blew the whistle on the whole situation. But my problem is that Dr. Michael Wilson was working, or Michael Wilkins, I'm sorry, was working there for a long time, and these problems were going on way before any of this. So I'm just wondering why he waited so long. But they were using tranquilizers to keep them passive and controllable. This instead of training, he asserted. And I think that this is just completely disgusting that the Processians were allowed to be around these already vulnerable children. And right here, oh, is it gonna? There we go. He agreed that many of the residents were under tranquilizers, but pointed out that they were used to keep the inmates, many of whom were dangerous to themselves and others, from doing any physical harm. At least 80% of the residents at the school, not a prison, a school, so why is he calling them inmates? He said were so severely retarded and handicapped that they would never, under any circumstances, be able to fit into the normal world outside. There was a former, well, I mean, obviously former when he got arrested, but he got charged with murder. So that's lovely. Yeah. And over here, this is when things start getting real hot. They're doing tours of the facility and they see the very bad things are happening. And right here. Retards are patients. The studies were made on young patients at Willowbrook State School, a school for the mentally retarded. Hepatitis is said to be always present in such institutions, and the children in whom the disease is mild invariably catch it. So, if you didn't know, they were injecting these mentally handicapped children with hepatitis as an experiment, which is disgusting and makes me want to bash my head into a wall. Now, right here. So this is 1973. This is literally the time that the Process Church of the Final Judgment and maybe some other people were hanging out there. The institution has long been plagued by high absenteeism, thefts, and abuse of residents by some attendants. And 17 people with disciplinary action, some of them followed up in criminal courts. Between 59 and 71, the number of disciplinary actions ranged between 3 and 10 a year. In 1972, there were 19 alone, most of them in the second 6 months. I think that timing is pretty damn interesting. Yeah, I think that's very interesting. And look at this. The school's director said 4 or 5 of the cases involved alleged abuse by attendants against the school's retarded residents. Yeah, I bet. Now, let me zoom out and zoom back in. I'm going to be coming back to this, but I am just putting this out here. The Knights of Columbus were involved at Willowbrook State School for the mentally retarded. Who else was involved with the Knights of Columbus? I don't know if I should say it out loud, but I've already shown it on another presentation. Mrs. Wheat Carr. Mrs. Wheat Carr was involved in Knights of Columbus, remember? I found that oratory award that she won. Yeah. So I'm going to be coming back and I'm going to be doing a nice, deep, thorough dive into all of that. Because it just seems like people are focused on like just this little part of this file, right? These files, like just this little bit, and that it's open and shut case. No, it's not. Especially when you have names. When I have found the names. And I'm not asking for a pat on the back. See, here's the difference, because I am going to be a little petty. Sorry, whatever. Deal with it. You don't want to hear it? Go watch something else, man. Because like my patients today, I have a lot going on. It is what it is. So, I don't come on here and tell you guys that I'm doing groundbreaking research. It's historical. I'm changing everything. And you're an idiot if you look elsewhere. That's the difference. And I know that there are some people out there who have made it very clear that any episode that is done with these files, that they are going to come on and do a Devastating takedown. Go for it, bro. Go for it. Because hunting through newspapers, looking through ancestry records, X, Y, and Z. Oh, and Wheat Car still hasn't answered any of my questions. She just passively threatened to sue me. Yeah? I'm not the one telling people what to think. I'm not the one taking 2 pages that I do kind of think are irrelevant in the grand scheme of things and saying that it's an open and shut case. That interview with Francis, Sam, and Wheat is fascinating. And it is fascinating. And we're not going to get into all of the reasons of why it is fascinating today. But, you know, if other people are going to come on here and be ugly, I understand. I am a lady. I get that. And no, I don't want to be like nasty or rude or anything of the sort. But I'm also human, right? I'm also human. Now, let me see, because I'm not going to keep you guys here forever. Whatever. If you're here, great. I'm happy that you're here. I want you to be here. It's beautiful. But I have a lot to get through because I have some things going on personally that I will not be able to come on for a couple of days. I'm not going to lie to you guys. It is what it is. So I need to get through what I can right now. Let me see 1 second because I'm going to show you guys the Guardian's office stuff because that is super duper important. But let me show you. Yeah, the thrift shop, baby. The thrift shop. Because we're going to look at the public record, the open corporate record, because this is that bingo bango. Oh, thank you so much, Ivermectin. I appreciate that. I don't know what the super sticker is. Support Dana through the link, or I'll do a dramatic reading of my Karen De La Carriere erotic fan fiction. Gag me with a pitchfork, please. I will yeet myself into oncoming traffic if he does that. Like, all right, let's go ahead and look at this really quick. Thank you. Please don't do that. All right. So, look at there. Right here, baby. The Disciple Thrift Shop. That's it. That's it. The New York records, unfortunately, it asks to go in person. It says the website doesn't work, whatever. But that's it. Yeah? And I just added that down there as a reminder. But we have officially exonerated LaRouche. He was right. Doesn't mean that everything that he said was right, but that's that. So he was right. Markham was involved in that stupid little thrift shop that I think was a front, straight up. I think that it was a front because it's on Wall Street now. But it's there. We know that now. And let's go ahead and just pull up these Guardian's office documents for the time being so that people can understand when they want to sit there and say that, like, Scientology is stupid, blah, 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 blah. And, you know, anybody that's ever been in Scientology, well, they're just like a total idiot. Okay. Okay. Tell everybody how stupid you think that they are and how smart you think that you are. I tell people all the time to question authority. Someone that is presenting themselves as an authority like that, I'm going to question you. And the people that have been here writing this out with me, who knew that I had no expectation and didn't even think that we were going to come to this part, but we're here now. You're not the authority on anything. You did not take the time to go and dig and factually identify any of those processians. I have. I could come on here and say that I'm doing something historical, a total takedown for the record, right? We're out here changing things. And this is it. This is the channel. This is the only channel that you should come to right here for all of your Son of Sam information. But I'm not a total dick. Now, I'm going to show you guys this communication specifically from the Guardian's office where they are talking about what they do to hide the record. October 15th, 1976. Yeah? So this part right here, Guardian Worldwide, that's worldwide. Guardian's office, worldwide. I don't know why it makes me think of Step Brothers, like a prestige, worldwide, 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 boats and hose. I don't know why it makes me think of that, but that's it. So right here, Dear Dick, attached as a project which can be utilized to debug and accomplish any infiltrating target you may be having trouble with in your area. Each time it is implemented on a target, B1 worldwide is to be notified and it is to be fully done for that target. Now, B1, I've already covered this in my episode, I think Loose Lips Sink Ships, because Virginia's husband, Mike, he was in the Guardian's office and he was part of intelligence. I lay out how that works and who was running things and how in the way that it's in order. I'm not going to go back through that here, but I explain what B1 is and who was running the show. So, when reporting, your reference will be Weaver's Needle Cazares or some such. Wow. Wow. Enlighten us some more, Mo. That's Mo Budlong. For anybody who knows who Mo is, yeah. So, right here, conditional targets. Trying to figure out every single thing that you can do to erase the record. And no, I'm not going to sit here and read every single thing. But this is part of Operation Snow White. Do a complete survey of the physical aspects of the agency or organization, layout of the office, section of agency, doors, windows, etc. Obtain or compile file from data obtained a list of all non-agency and organization people who would have access in the area. Like, look at how thorough these people are being. Some people think that Scientology gets a pass because of Operation Snow White. I've heard many people say that that's the saving grace. So if you think that it's the saving grace, why is it the exception and the son of Sam? You think that like the Carr family and Michael Carr, like that they're immune to that? That doesn't make sense. And it doesn't. And if you're being really honest, then we know that. Project Weaver's Needle. October 11th, 1976. To successfully infiltrate, to locate and obtain their files on the Church of Scientology. Yeah? And blah, blah, blah. The agent recruited for this program is responsible for successfully carrying out his targets. Interesting, right? I wonder what that responsibility, if you did not complete it, what the punishment might be. Just some food for thought in regards to the end of life cycle order that we've discussed previously. The case officer and agent relationship is established and kept in with the agent so that any problems arising with the agent personally or otherwise are handled smoothly and immediately. Vital targets. Total security must be kept in at all times. The agent recruited must not be, I hate that I know what this acronym is now, potential trouble source. And if I'm wrong, somebody tell me, but I kind of think that that's right. Even though I don't know these acronyms, that one, I'm pretty sure that that's what that is. So the potential trouble source and must be security cleared and bonded. To keep WW worldwide informed of progress and any bugs in the program. When reporting, keep security in and only refer to the program by its code name. And we're not going to go through all of this, okay? But compile lists. They want to know everybody, what you're doing, your blood type, your skills, who you know. Remember the buttons. I talked about the buttons on another channel. Look at this, your background, your ethics history. I know that ethics is a big thing in the church, right? But I'm sure that they're also considering your ethics as just a normal person. If you're a target outside of the church, yeah? Approach and interview the prospects and see if they are willing to help the Guardian's office. Hello. Hello. Don't tell them everything at this point. So you guys going to tell me that there's no chance in hell that Michael Carr and Sam Carr were not involved in the Guardian's office? Okay. Tell me you don't understand the crimes that Scientology has been able to pull off without telling me. I mean, look at all this. I'm not reading all of this. You guys have eyes. I'm not being rude. It's just, come on. I will add this into my archive with the Son of Sam files that people are so upset about that I'm transcribing. I will add this. Virginia sent these to me. That way people can look at these things for themselves, because people should be able to themselves. No one is the authority on anything. And you should never be told that you're stupid for not agreeing with someone. And I am being dead serious. Work out a cover for the agent in case his or her name at some point appeared in the Auditor or the local magazine. Michael Carr, Michael Samuel Carr. Work out a cover. Hello, Bueller. Anybody listening? Huh. Lord Almighty. And here we go, moving on. Not reading all of this. Just not. This stuff, it's in the grand scheme of things, right? It's a lack of willing to accept that intelligence history is complicated. And if you know remotely anything about L. Ron Hubbard, it's even more complicated. On purpose. So if you don't want to know, that's fine. I'm not going to tell my audience or anybody watching my show that you're stupid. You don't want to watch, that's fine. But I don't care if someone threatens me, if they want to sit here and mock my show because I brought up a document. I don't give a damn, because I care about the truth. And I am never here to waste anybody's time. And here we go. Keep the agent in place until it is given okay from Worldwide to remove. Yeah? What does remove mean, guys? Who knows? Because again, if people had a good grasp, I don't think that little Miss Leah Remini has done anything good as far as educating the public about actual fair game. Neither has any of the ex-Scientology community that's on YouTube, besides the McClarys. But remove could literally mean bye-bye. Bye-bye. That's what that could mean. Jay Snyder, I am telling y'all, you will see overlap via the mainstream clubs a la KOC and even over to the Boy Scouts and LDS. I've read member notes. Not a total dick, Dana, and you even have better flowers than the expert. Thank you, Jay Snyder. I needed a laugh. And I'm sorry, guys. I'm not trying to ignore the chat, but I've got to get through this information. How is Scientology linked to the Son of Sam? You got to go back and watch. I'm sorry. This has been a long road. I didn't even know that I was going to come to the process. I knew I was going to go to the process, but I didn't realize that nobody had ever questioned them. And, now here we are. But we've proven a lot of things. We've proven a lot of things. And I'm not taking credit, and I'm not asking for a pat on the back. But people want to pretend that the name of these individuals and that they just don't exist, and that Maury Terry literally made these up, or David Berkowitz made them up. No, they didn't. And I've proven that. Those people exist. Those people went to Utah. Some of those people are still alive. Yeah? Okay. Now, let me see this last thing about little Miss Cooper. This is handwritten. This is a Guardian's Office report. This is from the government. But I do just want you guys to see, because it is kind of hard to read, but you guys need to see, because this is what they were doing out of the exact same organization that the cars were in. You know? Just worth considering. So, let's go down here. Let's go to the right side first, okay? So, do this op on Cooper. Report to worldwide. February 3rd, 1976. Ooh, that timing is painful. That timing is painful. Op Dynamite. Op Dynamite to be... Ooh, I cannot read all of that. Something about Krasner. Please have sex. Write me up a report on this. Am particularly interested in Cooper. Yeah, so that's Miss Cooper, where they forged the bomb threat, full of fingerprints as well. Legitimate fingerprints. Yeah, with the bomb threat to Henry Kissinger. Yeah. Out of the exact same organization that the cars were in New York. There were a lot of interesting people in New York at that time. So, these are just some things to consider, guys. I told you we got a long way to go. And I'm not saying that we're getting a smoking gun. Okay? Because we're not. Maybe. But, you know, you have to step back and you have to be realistic and you have to be grounded. This is not choose your own adventure. Okay? That's been repeated again and again. This is not choose your own adventure. This is realizing that maybe you don't have all the information, or maybe you're listening to specific people. Kind of seems that way. Seems like you're kind of forcing people or asking them to not look one way and just look at what you tell them to by claiming an authority. And you're not. You're just not. Let me see. Paul Krasner. I haven't dug real deep in there yet. And Soil Lodge, Rosenfeld. It is in the DA car transcript. And David Rosenfeld. First time here. I'm glad that you're here. This is like a long show. I'm so sorry. Normally, I try to be much more engaged with the chat, but I wanted to get in as much information as possible. And I'm trying to go back and put in descriptions on the videos because they are long. And I mean, God bless y'all, man. Like, you guys wrote out those court records with me. That was so painful. That was so painful. And I remember the night that we finished them and we celebrated. We were done. But we learned so much. We were able to identify them. We were able to find out who they were. We were able to, destroy a lot of the lies. A lot of lies. And it's fascinating because I'm not going to talk about it tonight because it's just not important. But in Adam Parfrey's Apocalypse Culture, it's weird because he came out with a second edition, so the process part is missing out of that book, but I was able to find that first copy that I read, and he places Mother Mercedes in New York, even though that magazine puts her in Chicago. And it's right at the time of all this stuff going on. Because I've had a few people say that Mother Mercedes, aka Flavia, is a spitting image of one of the, eyewitness drawings. I haven't studied them. I'm just being honest with you guys. Haven't studied them. I really haven't based anything in here at all off of the Ultimate Evil. I really haven't. I've read it once. And when I'm coming across things in the newspapers and looking through these files, I'm trying to put some puzzle pieces together. I'm not going to show the one thing because I'm not, because it would take a long time to explain. And quite frankly, I'm not ready to do it yet. I kind of want to see if Mr. I'm unable to tell a lie, I'm physically unable to tell a lie, if they're going to keep their word and do a little review of this video since I brought up the files. I've shown you guys all the stuff with the Michael Kars and the Auditor magazines, right? We have their clear numbers. We have the things that they have done. But we also have when he went to Clearwater. We have proof of that now. And what it looks like, and we will discuss this next time, is the reason why. Because who was in Clearwater at that time? And this is why it's good to brush up on some Scientology history. Just a hint. Mary Sue Hubbard. Mary Sue Hubbard. And you notice how that op on Paulette Cooper was repeatedly being cited as reporting back to Worldwide. So Michael McClary, Virginia's husband, who was in the Guardian's office and who was involved in Operation Snow White, he's not well-versed at all on the Son of Sam stuff whatsoever. She gave him a brief rundown before she sent me these documents. Gave out the thesis, our theory, our conspiracy theory right now, I guess, that the Son of Sam letters was a straight up PR campaign. Either the process pissed somebody off, the cars pissed somebody off, or a combination of both, right? Combination of both. But he said that would be a worldwide op. That would be reported to Worldwide. And then she looked up those Paulette Cooper files, and lo and behold, the op for Paulette Cooper was being reported to Worldwide. In the UK. Yeah? And I've proven the process and their intelligence ties and nobility ties and royalty ties in the UK. So all of a sudden, this cult theory isn't seeming so much like a conspiracy theory anymore. It is a conspiracy. But there were also some other interesting names dropped about Michael Carr's time in Clearwater. And if he had to go down there for a face-to-face meeting with Mary Sue, because Mary Sue knew what was going on with Manson in the process. And the Church of Scientology, for some odd reason, has internal records from this FBI raid. And keep in mind when this raid occurred, guys. Berkowitz wasn't in jail yet. But for some reason, the Church of Scientology had files where they were very concerned about the bad PR from the crimes that were going on that were later attributed completely to David Berkowitz. Isn't that fascinating? I think that is very fascinating. But we have a long way to go. I'm going to get off of here for now. I am sorry if I ignored you guys. I did not want to. But we need to get through this stuff. This stuff we need to get through, or else we're going to be here forever. Because quite frankly, for those of us that do, have a good understanding of intelligence or are curious, you're open-minded. You're here because you're open-minded. And I love that. And I'm never going to kick people out, anything like that. Remember how I said that the process and the Brotherhood of Eternal Love, that was early stages Iran-Contra, and that was a conspiracy theory of mine? Well, we have Operation Snow White going on. What else is going on at the time? The Church Committee. Yeah? So if we have the Church Committee going on, we have Son of Sam going on, we have Operation Snow White going on. Man, it's a really busy time. Kind of seems like a really nice distraction from the Satanic Panic, right? Right? That whole theory about Iran-Contra being a distraction from the Satanic Panic and Iran-Contra actually involving human trafficking. It's getting a lot more legitimate, because don't think that I have forgotten about Dr. Carl Gadusek, because he's going to get his own episode, because I have found a ton of crazy stuff on him. But I'm not going to keep you guys here for hours and hours, but we are going to come on here and we are going to talk about some of these people, because it's not irrelevant. However, if you're not a liar and you're a man of your word and you say you can't lie, I look forward to your review. I really do. And I would love if, Wheat would produce the documents that I asked for, because it would literally shut down this entire conversation if she could prove it. But she hasn't yet, and her word means nothing to me. So I will see you guys later.